welcome to my channel. My name is Ashley and I'm currently 19 years old and I am pregnant with twins. If you have never seen me before, please do consider subscribing. I post weekly pregnancy updates every Saturday along with more videos throughout the week. And at the very beginning of this video, I'm just going to say I am 30 weeks pregnant with twins. I get out of breath really easily, so I apologize for that. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why I am choosing to have a C-section and not try for a natural birth. I know that a lot of people may disagree with this choice, but it is a very personal choice. So I'm just going to share with you the reason that we have decided to opt for it and what that's realistically looking like. So let me just start by saying my baby A is head down. So realistically, if I did want to try for a natural delivery at this point, I could. So my doctor said that to me when she originally brought it up, both my babies were breached. She said that they can flip, but just to let her know that if I wanted a section, that she would do a section for me, and that even if they flipped. Because once baby A evacuates naturally, hypothetically, B can stretch out and lay whichever way she wants. So it doesn't matter when you go into labor whether or not baby B is head down, feet down, whatever way, because she'll probably move once baby A is out. So first of all, baby B has been difficult my entire pregnancy, and I just feel like it would be my luck that I would end up with one vaginal and one section. And that is really the worst case scenario for us that we would like to avoid. And knowing that baby B is difficult, I feel like that would be the case. So that was the first reason that we decided that a section was probably something that we should look at, because my doctor said there's about a 5 to 10% chance of that happening without like the chance of both babies ending in C-section anyways. So I would be induced at 37 weeks if I made it there, if I was doing natural compared to booking a C-section. So the induction process, and sometimes induction can be very slow. My mom was induced and she only ever made it to 3.5 centimeters, and she was in labor for about 24 hours and she never went past 3.5. And since they induced you, she was on Pitocin, I believe, it was hard labor for that 24 hours and you're not allowed to eat. And I would like to have the easiest labor possible. And I know a lot of people may think C-section, it is a major surgery and you do have to be aware of that. But I have a feeling that they say a lot of times you follow in your mother's footsteps as far as labor goes, and I don't want to be in labor for 30 hours and have it really hurt my body and then to end in a C-section anyways. I've heard from a lot of people and done a lot of research on it that a booked C-section compared to an emergency C-section are two very different stories. Because it's not rushed, your body hasn't had to go through the labor, it's night and day is what I hear, and recovery is night and day because your body didn't have to work trying to push the babies out and they didn't want to come out. The other thing is that I am positive for strep B, which means it's like a bacteria, I believe, or I don't exactly know what it is, but if you deliver a baby naturally, during your labor you have to be on antibiotics because you don't want to be passing that on to the baby. And if the baby does contract it, it can cause that baby to go septic and die. And so I don't think that happens very often because they're very on top of checking to see if you have it and making sure. But it was just kind of the final thing for us to say, you know what, we don't want to risk it. Baby B is probably going to be difficult. I'm looking like I probably follow in my mom's footsteps. It's just looking much more like a section would be a better option for us all around. The other thing is that I'm a planner and I like to know when things are going to happen, and for me I get a lot of peace of mind and like my blood pressure comes down knowing, okay, this is the date that I'm going to go in and I'm going to have my baby, compared to it could still be like hypothetically I could go into labor tomorrow and then they do a C-section, or depending on circumstance, right? My doctor also said that hypothetically, if baby A's water broke and baby A wanted out, they could deliver baby A naturally and B could stay in for another week or two, depending, as long as she was happy, because they are in their own sacs. They do share a placenta though. So I think it's going to depend on circumstance, but our plan is to do a C-section. We have not booked a C-section yet because my doctor wants to wait to see how my pregnancy progresses, because I did have elevated blood pressure at my last doctor's appointment. So she wants to see if that's going to go down and back to normal, or if I'm going to become higher risk, or if I develop preeclampsia or something, then she'd want to do it sooner. So she said realistically we'll look at starting to book it at 32 weeks, and we'll book it for 36 weeks in some days, maybe 37 weeks. So that is why I'm choosing to have a C-section. A lot of people judge me for choosing and not wanting to try to have a natural delivery. I really did want to try, but then it's not the best option for our situation. And if I was having one baby, for sure I would do a natural delivery, or at least try for it. But yeah, I receive a lot of judgment when I mention to people that I've chosen to do a C-section, but there's a fly. Sorry about that. I receive a lot of judgment when I mention that I want to book a C-section, but I'm just going to have to get over that, and this is the right choice for me and for my babies to be safe. And so yeah, if you're choosing to get a C-section, whether or not you're having one baby, it's completely choice. That baby, the goal is to get out and that baby to be healthy and for you to be healthy, and whatever you have to do for that to happen is the goal. And so me getting a section is not going to change that. It's going to, yeah, it's the best thing for my babies to be healthy, for me to be healthy. And yeah, I'm just, sorry, I'm rambling a little bit now, but that is all I have to say. If you have any other questions about what that looks like or anything in general, just leave them down in the comments and I would be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching, and please do consider subscribing if you have not already. Thanks. Bye.